Every year, without fail, the same cycle repeats. A new MMORPG gets announced, the trailer drops, and everyone collectively loses their mind. The comments fill up with words like, finally, or this is the one. And for a brief moment, it feels like the golden age might be returning. And then it releases, or we get into the open beta, and then we realize that we just got baited again. It's the same story we've seen for the last decade. A pretty world, flashy combat, decent character creator, and absolutely no soul. The MMO genre isn't truly dying, it's stuck in an endless loop, constantly rebooting the same ideas under newer graphics. And the problem isn't just the games, it's the way the developers, publishers, and even us players think about what an MMO should be. We keep saying we want the next World of Warcraft or the next Final Fantasy XIV, but the truth is, we don't even know what we want anymore. We're chasing a memory or a feeling that can't be recreated with Unreal Engine 5 or another game with a seamless open world. So in this video, I want to talk about the real problem with modern MMOs, not the bugs, not the servers, not even the monetization, but the core design philosophy that's killing this genre. Because not just that MMOs are worse now, it's just that we forgot why we actually played them in the first place. Let's start with something a lot of developers don't want to admit. MMOs haven't really evolved in over a decade. Sure, they look better. There are more polygons, more particle effects, more trailers showing people jumping off cliffs to show their amazing exploration. But in terms of actual design, we're still playing the same game we were 10, even 15 years ago. Look at titles like Bellatores, Proto Odyssey, even Aeon 2. They all technically promised the next generation MMO experience, and technically they are. They look great in the trailers we've seen. The animations are fluid, the lighting is beautiful, and the trailers are fantastic. But once you get in, it's the exact same formula. You spawn in a shiny new tutorial area, talk to an NPC with 2 lines of dialogue, get sent to kill 5 wolves, and pick up 3 sparkling herbs. It's all surface level stuff. These games look advanced, but the underlying systems, the stuff that made old MMOs magical, have been stripped away. Take social systems, for example. In early MMOs like EverQuest or RuneScape, you couldn't do everything alone. You had to talk to people, you had to rely on others, trade, share tips, or just hang out in the city while waiting for your guild to log in. That social dependency created stories, friendships, and even a sense of belonging. Now, you can play an MMO for 100 hours and never say a single word to another person. Everything's automated, matchmaking, trading, grouping, even communication. And I get it, accessibility is good. But what we've lost is that human friction that made MMOs feel like a real world instead of single-player games with a chat box. Modern MMOs chase convenience at the cost of community. And when everything's streamlined, you lose that thing that made your accomplishments enjoyable. No one plays an MMO just because it looks good.
You will be delighted to hear that we are on schedule. 200,000 units are ready, with 1 million more well on the way.
Now, if you've been around MMOs long enough, you've probably had this weird feeling of deja vu when you play something new and everything feels familiar. That's because it is. Modern MMOs are terrified of doing anything new. Every single one borrows from the same playbook. Action combat, check. Open world, check. Classes divided into DPS, tank, and healer, check. Dailies, currencies, and a stamina system, a cash shop, and a PvP arena that half the player base ignores. Double check. And I get it. Making an MMO is expensive and takes a long time. Publishers don't want to take any risk. They want guaranteed formulas that look like something that worked before. But the result is this endless conveyor belt of MMOs that all blur together in one giant forgettable experience. Take Chrono Odyssey as an example. You could swap its title with half a dozen other Korean MMOs and barely notice the difference. The UI looks like it was made from a template. The quest designs feel auto-generated, and the combat's very flashy, but still pretty shallow in the end. Despite all that visual spectacle, there's just nothing memorable about it. The irony is, MMOs were born from innovation. Every classic MMO that shaped the genre, Ultima Online, EVE Online, Guild Wars 1, WoW, took huge creative risks. They experimented with new systems, player economies, and community-driven mechanics. Today's MMOs are afraid to innovate because innovation means a chance of failure, and failure means bad headlines, poor sales, and dead servers. So they all play it safe, and that's exactly why the genre feels very stagnant. It's funny, MMOs were supposed to be about freedom. Freedom to create, to explore, to build your own story, but now they all feel like tightly controlled theme parks. And that's the tragedy of it, because we, the players, don't want more theme parks. We want a sandbox. We want worlds that react to us, not worlds that wait for us to click next.
Name of the game? Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
Right, but if you can make the client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct?
No. Number one rule of Wall Street. Nobody, I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is gonna go up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Fugazi, it's fake.
Yeah, fugazi.
Monetization. Modern MMOs have turned into a behavioral science experiment disguised as a game. The goal is to keep you engaged just enough so that you don't quit, and occasionally frustrated enough so that you spend money. It's the art of keeping you on the hook without letting you realize you're the fish. In the old days, all you needed was a sub fee and you got to play the whole game. If the game sucked, you unsubscribed. Simple. Now it's a maze of currencies, time gates, login rewards, and seasonal passes. Take Lost Ark, a game that at its core has some interesting design ideas, but buries all of it under a mountain of monetization and pay-to-win garbage. You don't progress because you're skilled or social, you progress because the game drip feeds you upgrades through daily grinds and gotchas. And it's not just about the money. The real damage monetization does is to design itself. The systems developed today are built to keep you coming back every day. Instead of logging on to enjoy the game, you're logging on because of FOMO. And that's when an MMO stops feeling like a game and starts feeling like a job. You can literally see the manipulation in the design. Timed events, energy systems, daily streak bonuses. These are the leashes the developers have put on you, and once it's on you, either you get stuck or you get burnt out. I'm not against developers making money, but when monetization dictates design, it destroys trust, and MMOs without trust are dead on arrival. It's sad because MMOs used to make you want to log in. Now they make you afraid to miss a login.
Claim on claim numbers 158, 183. You will be...
You got him yet? Then where is he?
Mr. Huff would like to talk to you in his office.
Now?
No.
Storytelling in MMOs have always been tricky. You've got to balance personal narrative with the chaos that a multiplayer game brings. But what's happening now is way worse, because modern MMOs are pretending to have great stories without actually writing any. Cinematic trailers with orchestral music, mysterious voice lines about destinies and gods, and then the actual game starts and your first quest is collect 10 boar tusks. Games like Star Resonance and Chrono Odyssey market themselves as narrative-driven, but the writing feels hollow. Characters talk like machines, spewing exposition, quests have no weight, and the world feels like a backdrop for grinding, not a living space full of meaning. Comparing that to Final Fantasy XIV, that game understood that the story is more than just cutscenes, it's about context, about why you're doing something and how it connects to a larger purpose. When MMOs treat story as filler in between battles, the whole narrative becomes mechanical. And this lack of soul seeps into everything, the quest design, the dialogue, even the environment. Because without narrative direction, everything feels generic. You could drop the same ancient prophecy story into 10 different MMOs and no one would really notice. It's just that formulaic. What makes it worse is that some of these games could actually have great worlds. The art direction, the music, the setting, it's all there. But the writing just doesn't bring it to life. You can't build immersion if your characters sound like they were generated by ChatGPT version 0.1. I don't mean that every story needs to have Shakespeare as a writer, but the narrative just needs to give the players a reason to care. A sense that their actions matter and that the world is actually worth saving.
I got you, brother. Oh, no, you don't. What are you doing? Stop.
So if these games are so repetitive and soulless, why do we keep playing them? It's not stupidity, it's not even hype, it's hope. Every MMO fan is chasing the ghost of their first great experience. The first guild they joined, the first dungeon they cleared, the first time they stayed up all night grinding with friends and felt like they were part of something bigger. That's what we're looking for every time we download a new MMO. Not the game itself, but that feeling. It's pure nostalgia. We remember how MMOs used to make us feel connected, alive, important, and we think that maybe this one will be the one. But that's the trap, because most modern MMOs don't even try to create that anymore. They're just selling the illusion of it. They show you a trailer full of grand battles, sweeping landscapes, and characters staring dramatically into the sunset. They use words like community and living world, but once you log in, it's just another disappointment. The problem is we're not just buying the game, we're trying to buy the memories. And when those memories aren't recreated, we blame ourselves for expecting too much. But we're not the problem. The genre is. It's built on nostalgia but refuses to evolve meaningfully. It wants to sell us the feeling of old MMOs without any of the design philosophy that made them special. We keep falling for it because we believe that magic can come back. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Hope is what keeps genres alive, but it's also what keeps us stuck in the same loop, chasing something that developers have stopped trying to create.
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change. You hear it? You hear the winds of change? What a creep.
So what can actually fix MMOs? What would it take to make the genre feel alive again? For starters, we need developers to stop chasing massive and start chasing meaningful. Not every MMO needs to be a 2,000-hour lifestyle game. Sometimes smaller, more personal worlds create the best experiences. Look at games like Bitcraft or RuneScape. They're not promising to revolutionize graphics or combat. They're focusing on community, crafting, and collaboration. We also need smarter monetization, not just less greedy, but actually aligned with good design. Reward long-term engagement because the game is fun, not because players are afraid to fall behind. And storytelling, that needs to evolve too. Players want worlds that are alive, where quests aren't just errands, but reflections of player choices. Narrative doesn't need to be linear, it just needs to be impactful. Finally, MMOs need to embrace experimentation again. Bring back risk, let players break things, let worlds evolve based on community action. Give us chaos, unpredictability, something to talk about that isn't just patch notes. The best MMOs were never perfect, they were messy, unpredictable, and full of stories that players created themselves. Somewhere along the way, the genre forgot that. It started designing for efficiency instead of emotion. And that's what needs to change, because the MMO genre isn't supposed to be convenient, it's supposed to be alive. At the end of the day, the problem with modern MMOs isn't just lazy design or greedy monetization, it's fear. Fear of risk, fear of failure, fear of building something that might not appeal to everyone. But MMOs were never meant to appeal to everyone. They were meant to pull in the few who wanted to live inside them. When developers stop designing for engagement metrics and start designing for meaning again, that's when the genre will thrive. Until then, we'll keep seeing the same cycle. Flashy trailers, early hype, empty worlds, and we'll keep chasing that feeling from long ago, when our first MMO made us believe we were part of something real. But maybe that's not a bad thing, because even after all the disappointment, all the broken promises, we're still here waiting for the next one. Still hoping the next world might finally get it right. The MMO genre isn't dead, it's just waiting for someone brave enough to take it back to where it started. Not in graphics or in marketing, but in fun. And maybe that game's already being made right now. Until then, I'll keep waiting. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. My name's been Suka. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.